running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Face. Horrible. Looked like it would scare you to death.
All right, let's get to work.
Okay, so this Buddhist monk is in New York for the first time.
Yeah.
And he really wants to like get the whole experience. And someone said, "Oh, you should get some street food." And he's like, "Oh, well, you know, what should I get?" He's like, "Definitely either a pizza or a hot dog."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, well, I'll try a hot dog." So he goes to a hot dog vendor. And he's looking at the menu, and he's looking at the condiments, and he's thinking about it. And finally, you know, the hot dog vendor is like, "Come on, what are you gonna get?" He's like,
Hey.
Make me one with everything.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I get it.
You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's one of my favorite jokes.
Well, welcome everybody. Well, welcome everyone. This is Beyond the Shadows podcast. Your weekly what do you call it?
Paranormal cuss and discuss.
Cuss and discuss. Yeah, your weekly paranormal cuss and discuss. I am Victus,
I am Aeon.
and we are your professional paranormal investigators. If you notice the bottom of this lovely screen, you see some scrolling text. These are our socials. So I had a little extra time today, so I went ahead and set up our socials to be constantly scrolling across the bottom of this screen. Not too invasive, but they're there. So I'm still going to shout them out, just if you need them while we're talking and you're just curious. They're at the bottom of the screen. Check it out. Hit us up on the socials. Big news from our email this week.
What?
Yeah,
We got some spam?
we got some spam.
Sweet.
That was it.
Spam.
The end. Spam. So we got.
That's how you know you've had an email long enough. You started to get spam.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's
It
the
really is.
beginning. It's the beginning.
Yeah, considering what was it, that last hack that happened, everybody's social security number got fucking stolen. Have you seen that?
No, really?
Yeah, the company for the government that does background checks
Oh.
got hacked.
Uh-oh.
Something like
Uh-oh.
13 or like 1.3 billion or 1.3 billion social security numbers get released. So pretty much the population of the United States got hacked.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on your credit score. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jesus Christ. Well, okay.
So
Good to know.
we are not we're not sponsored by this guy, but I'm going to tell you about him. His name, I don't know his name, but this guy used to work for NSA. He quit and started his own nonprofit, and he has a website called haveibeenpwned.com. Yeah, it sounds silly, but you can set up for email notifications, and if your information pops up on like the dark web or something, he'll send you an email.
Oh, that's cool.
Or if
that's a good idea.
your stuff pops up in a data breach, he'll send you an email. And I found out about it before it was on the news.
Well, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Have I been pwned? Just Google it. You'll find it. It's very easy. Free. He doesn't collect any information but your email address. It's out there for everybody to use. Use it. It's a good, it's a good one. Yeah. I need to adjust OBS right quick. This on
What's
top.
going
There
on
we
with
go.
OBS?
No, the layering was funny. All right, so wait. No, I did something wrong. There we go. Better. You have no idea what we're talking about this week.
No, I don't. What are we talking about this week?
Are you ready for this?
I am. What are we talking about?
So this is it's kind of in between me and you.
Okay.
It is the Great Skunk Ape.
No. beautiful.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so for our listeners, I'm gonna say we're gonna steer clear of stuff like Bigfoot. Everybody's done Bigfoot. It's, Mothman. I want to do Mothman personally because I live in Virginia. We're probably not going to do Mothman. Because
There's not a lot on it.
yeah, they're beat to death. Beat to death. So when it comes to researching, what I do is I will find topics that have video or photo evidence. And that's, I'll make a list and, I'll probably bounce one or two off my wife, see what she thinks about it. And this week I started looking at pictures of, I started off with Googling famous cryptids photo evidence, and I look for the most convincing photo, and then I go from there. And when I saw this photo, I remembered it, and I was like, yes, this week is the Skunk Ape. So what do you know about Skunk Ape? Anything?
I feel like I know that it's a sort of Bigfoot
Yeah.
kind of thing, but that's all I can remember off the top of my head. But usually when you come up with a topic and I think I don't know anything about it, once we get into it, there seems to be, I'm able to pull something out of my, brain case storage.
Right. So Skunk Ape is probably more along the lines of being famous, popular. My ear is slouching. Sorry. I fell asleep on them today and my ears came off, so now I'm having trouble getting them realigned. Compared to Bigfoot, like the film that we've all seen, the film that's in the intro video, Skunk Ape has 100 times more evidence. 100.
Oh, really?
Easily.
So why do they call it Skunk Ape? I mean, is it like black with a white stripe?
Ironically, yes, there are some reports of it being black with a white stripe. A lot of people compare it to being like a wild silverback gorilla, but this is in the Everglades. However,
Okay.
when there's sightings, or sometimes not sightings, you'll smell it. And it has a really foul odor, like rotten eggs. So usually they'll smell it and then they'll see it, and that's why they took to calling it the Skunk Ape. But
okay.
I want to start with photo evidence right off the bat,
Okay. Let's start with that.
because
I can't wait.
this is my very, very favorite. So you remember? Do you remember that old paranormal caught on film book that I had? It was a weird shape. It was longer than it is tall.
No.
It would have been
I don't.
back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one of the books that I held on for years. It maybe just never came up, but that photo was in there in this book that I had. It was like Paranormal Caught on Film, volume like 6 or something.
Okay.
And at the time, the photo was like 15 years old. So today, this photo is going to be close to like 20 years old. I think the photo was taken in 99 or 2000. So I'm going to start with this photo.
Okay. Let's see it.
Oh, I closed my window.
Don't people say that there's a foul odor that comes with the Bigfoot too? I mean, not skunky, but like more like
musky.
extreme wet dog.
Yeah.
Musky and funky.
They say if it gets close enough, but they say with the Skunk Ape, you smell it before you see it.
Oh, okay.
Because he smells just so bad. He's in the Everglades, man. So moisture and heat doesn't do good for any living creature unless you live in the water.
Right.
So I'm going to show you this. Are you ready?
Also, downside, this is all being reported by Florida men,
Right? Take it for
which is unfortunate.
take it for what? Take that as a great assault. So check this out.
Okay, I have seen that photo
Oh,
before.
so this is an old photo. Old photo. This is flash.
Okay.
This was film photography. I can tell you, looking at it right now. So, for starters, what we're looking at, you see the white stripe skunk.
Yeah.
So this is where we're getting the skunk thing. This came out in either 99 or 2000. But here's the difference. In nocturnal creatures, they have that extra lens in their eye.
Right.
When you shine a light at them, it reflects the light back. That's how they can see in the dark. Same thing with cats. Think about taking flash photography of a cat and you see its eyes.
Right.
Look at the eyes of this thing. Okay, so...
Yeah, so it's a nocturnal hunter of something.
Right. I will say this right now. Humans don't do this.
No, humans definitely. I mean, you might get a red eye thing, but not
a glare
really.
like this, okay?
No, not like that.
So, then you got to think about how old this picture is. 99, 2000.
Right.
People weren't making prosthetic eyes that reflect light back then.
No.
Okay, so usually we only got one picture and we're like, cool, that's all right.
Right.
I have a second picture taken moments later.
Okay.
You ready?
Oh, so two pictures from the same incident.
Yes.
Ah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, shit. It looks very Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. But...
Like the face.
Yeah. But it's the eyes, man. There's no way you can fake that.
Yeah, and that... Man, it's a really... I mean, obviously it's at night and there's a flashlight or a flash.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, that would be... I mean, I guess there's ways you could fake that then, but it doesn't come across immediately as a fake, and it does look very like humanoid, like obviously in the face.
Yeah.
But even in the stance.
Oh, I just noticed. Look at this down here. It's his hand down here.
Really?
Yeah, look, finger.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
It is. Dang.
Huge arms.
That's his
arm.
Well, he is standing behind like palm fronds.
Okay.
So he's got to be standing up above those.
Yeah.
Even if they're short ones. So holy shit. Yeah, it's a...
So for 99 2000, this is
big
a feat. They weren't making movies with this good special effects back then.
Mm-mm.
This was Toy Story era. That was CGI back then. That was the peak of CGI, was Toy Story. So think about that.
No, that's a really good picture. I mean,
one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
I feel like I had seen the first one. I don't think I had seen this one.
I didn't know there was two pictures either.
I also didn't know that this was the skunk ape. I just thought it was a picture of Bigfoot.
Yeah, this is skunk. So this is, palm fronds. We're in Florida Everglades.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to dig up like concrete evidence of who took the picture, when it was taken. I'm basing my year off of when I've seen it and how old it was suspected to have been back then.
Okay.
So, I mean, even still, like, today, they would have trouble making something like this. What gets me is the eyes.
Yeah, the reflection in the eyes.
Yeah, it would be really hard. It's spot on. The light bouncing back is spot the fuck on, man. So...
Yeah, and it almost looks like it's either grinning or baring its teeth.
Yeah.
In that one.
Yeah, because you're getting like maybe an upper lip up here, or top of like in between the nose and the mouth.
Yeah, because you can see the nose holes almost right between the eyes.
Yeah.
Right past that palm front.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Huh. Which is interesting because that's almost like rhesus monkey location for nose holes.
Yeah.
Like almost between the eyes. I mean, I guess apes and stuff generally don't have like they don't have one of these.
I mean, looking at it on the screen I have in front of me, I mean, I've got a 42-inch like super wide monitor, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But looking at it, zoomed out a little bit, seeing the picture whole, I don't see a single thing in here that makes me feel like this is fabricated.
No, because you would have had a cut, like a cut out, sort of thing going on for editing then.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could. It would be very difficult. It'd be very, very difficult.
And the amount of hair. So, like, even the way the light shines off of the hair seems very realistic.
Well, and it also lines up with the light on everything else.
Absolutely.
Which is the important part. I mean, not that you couldn't go out, make a costume, and like have a dude stand in the palm fronds.
Right, but it seems an awful long way to go. Let's look at our first rule of, investigating. Who's making money off of this? Nobody made money off of this. It was in a book.
Yeah, 'cause we don't even know who did it.
Yeah, it was in a book and nobody got credited. So, welcome everybody to Beyond the Shadows. Tonight we're talking about the Skunk Ape. So,
Skunk Ape!
So we've got some decent information on the Skunk Ape. We got good descriptions, a long list of firsthand accounts. This one goes way back. I think the first account was, let's see, 1818.
Now, are they all in the Everglades?
Yes.
So that's interesting because the Bigfoot stuff, while people primarily associate it with like the Pacific Northwest,
yeah,
they're actually, people claim to see Bigfoot like all over the U.S., including all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it harder to believe that something like that could, exist in so many places over so much time and still no one can get a picture of it. Whereas this, a thing that lives in the Everglades, like the Everglades are damn near impenetrable.
Oh, yeah. And it's great that you brought that up.
And it's huge.
Because we have some video later that's gonna be a good point. Video.
Oh, okay.
We got video.
Because it's not like. I mean, to be fair, the Pacific Northwest is sort of like that in a lot of ways, but it's like ancient forest. The issue is mostly that it's so wet and soggy, it's difficult to get through, and there's a lot of like
exactly,
fronds and things like that. But it's not like the Everglades are just treacherous to try to get through. It's half bog and swamp.
Yeah. So for our listeners, Ayan and I both lived in Arkansas at one point in time, so we both know you can go off trail in Arkansas and cut your own path. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Everglades, you don't do that. Because
you'll go from solid ground to swamp, and it will look the same until you step your, up into your knee into it.
Not to mention, it might look like the brush is only 2 foot tall, but when you get in there, it's over your head.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, everything just grows super dense because it's it stays warm all the time.
Yeah.
Long growing season, tons of water.
It's like
tons of water.
Like prehistoric jungle.
Yeah, very little in the way of fires to clear out the underbrush. Everything just grows super dense, much like the rainforest. I mean, it's the same thing going on. Lots of water available, lots of sunlight available, lots of warmth available for the growing season. So everything just clusters together as close as it can.
So keep that in mind because we have video evidence later that's going to play off of that information. Think about it. Keep thinking about it throughout the episode. So we're going to start with a minor history of the skunk ape.
Okay.
So many dubious articles have been written presenting in an attempt to prove the skunk ape's existence, including anecdotal sightings, disputed photographs, i.e. what's in front of you, audio and video recordings, and a cast of large footprints, which we have some photos of some footprints as well. The majority of mainstream scientists have historically discounted the existence of the skunk ape, considering it to be a result of a combination of folklore, misidentification, and a hoax, rather than a living animal. However, the skunk ape has permeated into the popular culture of the southern United States, especially in Florida Everglades. The skunk ape is a large, hairy, human-like mythical creature purported to inhabit the forest and swamps in southern United States, most notably in the Florida Everglades. It is often compared to, or synonymous with, the cousin of Bigfoot, a prominent subject in North American popular culture. So, like you said, it's Bigfoot-esque. A lot of the research I came across said he's like the cousin. The cousin is the word I keep getting. The cousin of Bigfoot. Which,
Okay.
I mean, stands to reason. Different species of the same thing. So, let's get into the description. The skunk ape is commonly described as bipedal human or ape-like creature, somewhere between 5 and 7 feet tall, covered with mottled reddish-brown hair. The skunk ape is often reported to be smaller in stature compared to traditional descriptions of Bigfoot from the northern United States and Canada. It's named for its foul odor, often described as being similar to a skunk. Or maybe it's a guy in a ghillie suit that really likes to smoke out. So, I mean, anymore, would it surprise you?
No, I mean, not now. No, not now. No, for sure. Especially not in Florida.
But let's face it, in Florida, in a ghillie suit, you're gonna die. 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying the Florida men are doing all kind of things down there.
Yeah, don't get me started on the what was that really bad? What was that drug that turned everybody into zombies in Florida? Bath salts.
Oh, it was
bath salts. That's what it was.
Yeah. And then in Baltimore, it was a horse tranquilizer people had taken to using in place of narcotics.
Yeah, that's still a thing over here.
And then don't get me started on crocodile. Holy shit. Story for another time.
story for another time. Cuss and discuss. Off air.
Yeah.
So like I said, a lot of the people will report smelling it before they see it. So it's kind of contradictory to what you think. So we see this picture like what we've got on the screen right now. We say it's predatory. However, when it approaches people, he's always downwind of them. So a little contradictory. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So like a wolf would know not to be downwind of a deer that it's stalking.
You mean upwind?
Would know not to be not to be upwind. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I've had 2 beers.
Yep.
Cut me some slack. I'm on number 3.
Well, and the fangs don't necessarily mean, and the eyes don't necessarily mean that it's predatory. I mean, the eyes really just mean that it's nocturnal.
Right.
And as far as fangs, I mean, pandas have pretty menacing looking teeth, but they
only
crack bamboo open with it. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's predatory, but it seems like it's more likely to be an omnivore scavenger.
Yeah.
Because of its size.
Yeah.
Though its size would say that it has to do something that requires a lot of strength.
Yeah.
So either climbing or lifting or something.
So I feel like it's like the Amazon scaling effect is what I call it. So take a palm tree that you find in Florida, plant it in the rainforest. It's going to grow exponentially because it's in ideal environments.
Right.
So let's say maybe it is an offshoot of like some kind of ape that got loose in Florida. He's going to scale because the environment is exponential, or the environment is optimal. So he's
that would be interesting. That would be interesting if it's not a matter of, some unknown species now, but let's say it's really a cousin of a known species, except that now it's in an environment that's plentiful versus
he's thriving. Yeah.
Versus its natural environment, which was based on a more scarce sort of food chain. That would be interesting.
Because I mean, we've even said earlier in the conversation that the Everglades are very similar to the rainforest. It's
Yep.
it's optimal. Bamboo grows like crazy over there. You give bamboo any kind of sunlight, heat, and moisture, and they're done. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want. Can you imagine bamboo in the rainforest?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, the areas that it grows in China are pretty rain rich, like where giant bamboo grows naturally.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty rain rich areas. I mean, they're not quite tropical because they have a winter with snow, but yeah, the nutrients is plentiful and the sunlight is plentiful and the water is definitely plentiful.
So you got to think something this size, somewhere around 7 foot. Is that what he said? 5 to 7 feet. Think of all the living creatures in the Everglades. You got crocodiles, fish, birds, reptiles. I mean, what couldn't you hunt? And you know, I think my stepdad just went to Florida recently, and they got a license to hunt alligator. Alligator, crocodile. One of the
one of them.
I don't know. I always get the two mixed up. Anyway, got a couple tags to go out and hunt. He's out there 30 minutes, tags a 14-foot alligator.
Dang.
14 feet. Can you imagine? I'm 6 foot tall. That's over twice as long as me laying down. So that's like a doorway and a half. No, like a doorway and 3/4.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. It's huge. Because that area, it's just optimal for growing. So it makes me feel like maybe it is something that got loose and maybe it just thrived.
Well, even look at the record-sized pythons they find down there from people releasing them out there. I mean, and they don't have any natural predators there, so you know they're finding some that are much bigger than they ever thought pythons could get, like the size of anacondas in the rainforest, like just huge. You know, center of their body like this big around, like crazy big pythons and boas and things like that from people releasing them. In fact, you don't need a license for them. They'll give you a couple cents for every one that you kill. It used to be more. Now it's a whole industry of people out there trying to thin the population. But yeah, that's why that whole like there's even a show, a snake hunter show. Yeah. Because there's a bounty on pythons because they're an invasive species.
I think like episode 1, they're like, we're gonna drive out to this spot, and it's about 30 minutes out. And on the way there, they run over 3.
Yep.
So, case in point, this is what we're dealing with. Optimal growing environment for just about anything in the wild. Anything. I can't think of too many plants or animals that wouldn't thrive in the Everglade area. Just tons of resources. Tons. You know, I guess if they were hydrophobic in some way, they probably wouldn't do very well. Like, you couldn't grow orchids. Yeah, I know how hard that is. I've got a pair of orchids that are consistently dying on my windowsill.
I can never keep them alive. They're like a thing that I buy because they're gorgeous, and then I already know that once those flowers fall off, like, I'm never going to get them to flower again.
I've got a pot full of green leaves right now.
Yeah, that's how all of mine end up. And then I, like, give them away. I'm like, I swear it's an orchid. You can't tell, but they are really gorgeous orchids.
I know the struggle, man. I bought this really nice set of orchids, man. It was like 7, 8 flowers on it, beautiful flowers, and they lived for like 6 months in the windowsill. And I think I overwatered them. And I've actually found a page on TikTok that shows you how to take care of orchids, and things are getting better. So I've got some pruning to do. So we'll see what happens this spring. But any hoots, you want to get into the history of Skunk Ape?
Yeah, let's hear how this started.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's hear how this started.
First things first, this video is not sponsored by Voodoo Ranger IPA. It is not sponsored.
Yet. Yet? Question mark?
Okay. So, the first published report of a skunk ape was in Florida in 1942. This is the first published report.
Okay.
When a man claimed the creature rode on his car on the running boards for almost a half a mile and then jumped off and ran off into the woods.
So did it jump onto it while he was
I
driving?
guess so. So I wasn't able to track down like the actual newspaper clipping like in our last episode. But lots and lots of the resources say the first reported account was in 1942 and it was this guy in Florida. Said that it jumped on top of his car, rode the roof of the car for about a half mile, and then when he slammed on his brakes because he was freaking out, like I mean anybody else would have freaked out as soon as it landed, but he slammed on his brakes after about a half mile, thing jumped off and ran off into the woods.
Okay. So maybe it jumped down out of the trees?
Maybe? I have
The trees would explain the long arms.
right. But I have a hard time believing something that big is hanging out in a tree. But then again, it's Florida.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, except, I mean, even mountain gorillas will climb a tree. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe
I mean, they're mostly ground dwelling, but they will climb a tree.
maybe he didn't skip leg day. Maybe he's got like a 20-foot vertical. I don't know.
Right. I mean, the size of those hands compared to the body, I mean, it makes you think he's got to do something with them.
Maybe dude can jump 20 foot in the air. Maybe that's why he's always leaning forward to rest his giant fucking legs.
I mean, hell, most orangutans are bigger than even most big humans.
Yeah.
And they stay in the trees their entire life. The only time they come down to the ground is if they fall.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
It stands to reason maybe he did jump out of a tree. There's no reports to what was happening before, only the incident and what happened after.
right.
So,
Of course.
dude's driving along Everglades. Dude's up there hanging on, surfing dude's car, I guess. I don't know. Hard to say. I really wish I was able to find the article. That would have been great if I was able to pull the article, but the internet
I mean, it's pretty old pretty old account.
in
you know.
1942, I can't think of many things
Yeah.
other than my Sinatra records that you could pull from 1942 and it'd be concise.
Right. Also, Florida even up to then was pretty wild country.
Oh,
I mean, It wasn't like, Florida took a long time for us to finally make it like a well-populated area, mostly because of the swampiness.
Right.
Not a lot of land, like Orlando's mostly synthetic. Like that's
Yeah.
mostly a thing that we made. Like there's not that much open ground to build on. They have to make all that. So,
So,
I-
so I actually listened to this podcast called The World's Greatest Con, and he talks about like people do schemy things, but it makes a great story. And
Mhm.
one of his seasons was about Disney
okay.
and the lengths that he had to go to build Disney World down there in Florida was ridiculous.
Yep.
Literally
That
drained
makes
it and
sense.
drained it and drained it and drained it, built it up, drained it again, constantly. It seems like every major construction thing that he was dealing with had to do with drainage.
Yeah, and having foundations crack and
Yeah.
he finally kept the water. He finally funneled it into a single, lake area, which is a center lake.
Yeah.
That they're based around and made a, basically channeled all the water from everywhere into one point and then out because he had to keep building it up, had to keep adding soil, building it up.
Yeah.
Until he finally got it high enough to be above the soggy table.
5 years he compacted stuff into the ground down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a really interesting podcast. You would probably like it. The first season is really interesting. I'll just say that. I'll let you go down that rabbit hole. So, contemporary descriptions of the skunk ape in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama folklore have occurred since European settlers first occupied the region. In 1818, local newspapers reported the story from what is now Apalachicola, Florida. That spoke, yeah. You know, you're in the South when.
Yeah.
Apalachicola.
Apalachicola.
Apalachicola. Wasn't there a country song that said something about Apalachicola?
No, but it sounds like if they make another Fallout, that'll be the new soda.
Oh yeah, Apalachicola.
Apalachicola. They'll make it in Florida. You'll face down mutant Florida men.
And all of the bottle caps are just rusted from the factory.
Yeah, they just come that way.
When you try to open it, it cuts your hand.
Yeah.
But when you open it, you get an audio recording. Ka-ching! You have tetanus. Yeah. So
It's made with genuine swamp water.
yeah, a couple mosquitoes fly out.
Swamp water and coal.
Swamp water and coal.
It's coal flavored.
Coal flavored
That's
soda.
the coal.
That's why it's cola.
That's the coal and cola. Yeah.
Coala. Cola. So, 1818, local newspapers reported the story from what is now Apalachicola, Florida, that spoke of a man-sized monkey raiding food stores and stalking fishermen along the shore. Cryptozoologists have made unsubstantiated claims that Seminole and I'm gonna botch this one. Miccosukee culture. It's Miccosuke. Miccosukee culture includes stories of a foul-smelling, physically powerful, and secretive creature called Etsi-Kapaki.
Interesting. They say unsubstantiated claims.
Yeah. So the unsubstantiated claims were from the cryptozoologists.
So are they saying it's not substantiated that those two indigenous groups claim that there's that thing, or
Yeah, because you know, indigenous groups, they didn't have a system of writing, so legends and lore were passed down by word of mouth.
but it is a legend that they tell.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
They say unsubstantiated. I'm trying to find out if it's unsubstantiated that the cryptozoologists just made that shit up, that those indigenous groups have that
Oh no.
as a legend, or if it's that the legend is like word of,
Yeah.
passed down verbal history.
The legend is verbal history.
Okay, cool. So they do actually have a legend about said creature.
Yes.
Oh, well, that actually says a lot.
So
To be honest.
I've actually heard the name Etsi-Kapeki, Kapkaki, Capcaki, Kapkaki, Etsi-Kapkaki, which roughly translates to furry tall man or hairy giant.
Okay.
So
I mean, that checks out.
yeah. So
I actually find the legends from, or I feel like the legends from local groups. So like that's why I like the older stories for UFOs, is because you have a group that's not incentivized to make up a story.
right.
So
Yeah.
there's a really good like woodcut of, it's local news in a town in Europe, but they talk about, I think you can search it by like ancient Star Wars or something like that, but there's this account of these lights having what looked like a fight over the skies of this European town.
There's like
Yeah.
full medieval frescoes drawn or painted.
Yeah, and then there's a woodcut they put out of like the thing happening, and there's a bunch of accounts of it in a time when like UFOs were not a thing.
No, yeah.
And they said it was lights in the skies that appeared to be having some sort of a battle,
yeah.
over the twilight sky. And interestingly, the Catholic Church has even more accounts of it
Yeah.
that they keep in their archives that are not public.
I'd love to get that.
But
archived,
but those are public. Those are public, but there's more in-depth accounts that are not public.
Mhm.
And they also relate in a lot of, the reason that they keep them is because they relate in a lot of ways to a lot of old stories in the Bible of similar things.
Yeah.
And so it starts to make the Bible look like a lot of accounts of humanity interacting with beings from another planet.
Yeah.
Which is not the story that they want to tell.
What would make a good episode is going over like medieval paintings with UFOs in the background.
Oh, that's a good idea. Ancient. I mean, not. I hate the term.
Not ancient aliens, but
ancient astronauts, ancient aliens. I hate that term. But,
medieval aliens.
But we could cover the actual stuff that show was intended to start out covering.
Yeah.
And then before they got popular and had a bunch of seasons and realized they just had to string it out.
Yeah. Lots
into
of this.
Whatever, like
aliens.
Yeah.
Hair up. Aliens.
Subterranean lizard men.
Yeah, of course. Queen Elizabeth isn't really dead because she's a lizard person.
Right. Yeah. Paul likes to act like he likes to watch those, but I turned on the episode that was about, subterranean extraterrestrial lizard men living in the hollow earth, and they're like, ancient astronaut theorists believe, and I was like,
oh,
this is what they believe.
That's their famous line. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and so I pointed to that when I was like, these are the same people that are talking about the things that you're pointing to.
Yeah.
This is terrible. And also, saying ancient astronaut theorists believe is not a substantiating phrase.
No. So, I want to go on a small tangent.
Mm-hmm.
So, you live in an area where there's nicer houses. Big houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to wager that somewhere in that area, there's driveway with pine cones, concrete pine cones on a pillar.
I've seen some. I don't know about right in my neighborhood, but I've seen some. Why?
Right. Okay. You ready for this tidbit? This is my favorite. I
Sure.
love it because you see them around here where I live. Because like 3 blocks over from me are like multi-million-dollar homes.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have like a gated front driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And on the concrete pillars where the gates are, 2 big concrete pine cones. I call them the pine cone of power.
Gotcha.
So, you want to know where that comes from?
No. I mean, yes, but no, I don't know where it comes from.
So, the Catholics use the symbol.
Okay.
Like, if you can find any, like, just about any picture inside the Vatican, you're going to find them. They're all over the Vatican. Okay. The first recorded instance of the symbol is the carvings of the gods, which were known as the Anunnaki,
Mm-hmm.
passing knowledge to the kings of Samaria.
Oh, the symbol of the knowledge being passed is a pine cone?
Yeah.
That's the symbol they use?
So that's why,
yeah.
So there'll be the gods, which are like, a full body length,
giants,
a body length taller than the kings of Samaria, handing down this pine cone shape, and it's the symbol of transferring knowledge from them to the kings.
Oh, interesting. No, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
It's a whole rabbit hole. Go on down it sometime. But yeah, so when you're driving along and you see people with those pine cones of power, shadow government. That's all I'm gonna say. Back to the Skunk Ape. Shadow, yeah. So apparently 2/3 of the shadow government's here in my neighborhood.
Apparently.
All right, so we're gonna give a quick little rapid fire timeline of sightings of the Skunk Ape, and then we're gonna get into some more detailed sightings, and we're gonna look at some pictures and some video. So, 1818, a local newspaper reported the story of a man-sized monkey that raided food stores and stalked fishermen. 1970, a group of hunters encountered a foul-smelling ape-like creature which led them to the name Skunk Ape. In 1973, there were complaints of a large monkey or ape raiding homes in Northport and stealing garbage. 2000, a family took a photo of a large beast outside their home and believed it was the Skunk Ape, which I'm assuming this is what our picture is that we're looking at here. 2005, 2004, the green swamp ape episode in the Panhandle. 2021, sightings in Inverness, Citrus County, and Seawall Point, Marion County. These are places in Florida, near the Everglades.
Yeah.
So there's your rapid fire. We're going back from 1818 all the way to 2021 with sightings of the skunk ape. So we're going to dig deep, and we're going to get into some more details of some of these other ones. So in 1929, an alleged sighting occurred at the famous and then recently constructed Perky Bat Tower of the Florida Keys. Witnesses reported that an unknown ape-like creature was drawn to the construction site. After inspecting the bat tower, shortly after it had been stocked with bats, the creature shook the tower, driving off the bats before running off into the woods. So I had to look up what the hell a bat tower was.
That was going to be my very first question. Why the bat tower?
So 1929 was when people were starting to get kind of, open, endangered species were coming up. People were thinking, people were noticing that species were dying off, so conservation was kicking in. This was one of their things to keep native animals to the area, so they would build bat towers. So you think back when, so think of like Scooby-Doo. There would be a dark, gloomy tower, and there would be a loud sound, and all the bats would fly out. Those are bat towers.
Oh, I assumed it was a belfry, like for a
Right.
church.
But if you notice, think about it, you'd see a dark, gloomy tower, and there would be lightning strike, and the bats would fly off.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch. It's been a long time since I watched
But you could
original
see it in
Scooby-Doo.
your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those were bat towers, and if you've got a tower full of bats, there's a loud, disruptive noise. They're going to fly off anyway.
Right.
There's a lot of old churches in my area here, and I've noticed this year we're getting a lot of bat. The bat population has increased this year. So So like week before last, when Mom was here, so every time my stepdad would take their dog outside, I would go out. I'm gonna be a good host, and we'd be out there talking, shooting a breeze, getting dark, and we'd look over, and there's an old church at the end of my block. Whoop! I smacked my microphone. Old church at the end of my block that isn't being used. And right about dark every day, the bats come out and they fly around getting all the bugs. So
We used to have over our pool, because the pool was lit, bugs would congregate above the water.
yeah,
And if you watch long enough, you just start seeing just a black shape fly through the,
yeah.
the light in you as it was swooping up the insects.
So I've seen like one or two before, but here locally where I am, when my parents were here, we had like a I don't know what is a group of bats called? A gaggle of bats? I don't know.
I have no
a
idea.
Troop? A smaggle?
I have no idea.
A fleek of bats. So there was at least 2 fleeks of bats. I mean, there had to have been 40 bats out here just doing circles. Because this year they replaced all the streetlights with LED. So lots of bugs over here. And several fleagles of bats flying around. I'm thinking somewhere around like 30 to 40 bats were flying around out here. Which is weird because last year there was none.
Yeah.
But
well, the lights aren't hot enough to kill the bugs now, so now you have lots of bugs around them and therefore bats around them.
Right. I'm going to lean away and clear my throat. Excuse me. I'm either not drinking enough or vaping too much. We'll say not drinking enough. All right, so that was 1929. We're going to get into 1942. A man in Suwannee County reported a similar creature rushing out of the brush line while he was driving down an isolated road. Oh, okay, so this is the fleshed out story of the popular one. The one that was
on the car. Yeah.
It was alleged that it, it was alleged to have grabbed onto his vehicle and beat on the running board and door for a half a mile before departing. So now that I hear that, I remember reading the full account.
So the running board's the side of the car, though. So
Yes.
it jumped onto the side of the car.
Grabbed onto his vehicle and beat on the running board and door for a half a mile.
So it's hanging onto the side of it, trying to get in, or trying to beat up the metallic animal that it thought it had just caught.
Yeah, the metallic crocodile.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing in another podcast, same thing.
Okay.
And there was very, very detailed descriptions of the dents. Like, I think the people in the other podcast had a copy of the police report,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't have the newspaper article.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there was no photographs. This was 1942. 42. So police weren't really taking pictures of crime scenes back then, especially not something like this.
Yeah, because the guy just sounds crazy to them.
But they did fill out a police report and they read that off, and they did note that there was several like deep gashes, like 3 claw marks in the side of the vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that tore the metal. So
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a little more than an ape, seems like.
yeah.
Especially a car of that era.
Oh yeah,
It's not
because they
like
were all steel
thin
back
like
then.
Now. Yeah, it's not like they're thin like now. It's like a 1/16 of an inch of steel. Like that's not. Huh. All right.
All right, and in the small community of Barden in Putnam County, Florida, beginning in the 1940s, there was a number of alleged sightings of a creature that came to be known as the Barden Booger.
Booger?
Yeah, the Barden Booger.
Booger. Like the nasal hanger.
Yeah, let's
Like booger. Okay.
let's
The
Google.
Barden Booger.
Let's Google
of
this.
all the names.
I'm gonna Google this. I want to see what it is.
Damn Floridians. Booger. They just wanted something that rhymed with a B, and they were working with their limited vocabulary.
Right. Okay, so yeah, look at that picture. He's very ape-like. Oh, we don't want to subscribe. Florida.
That looks like a gorilla costume. though.
Yeah, that's really bad picture.
Yeah. They just went and got some stock footage for the article.
Yeah, that's somebody in a costume.
Yeah. Also, just in case anyone was wanting to cause some chaos out there, fun idea. Take a real gorilla and put him in a very fake-looking gorilla suit and set him loose in the mall. Just saying. Just saying.
We're gonna find out who's behind these shenanigans when I take this mask off.
Yeah.
There goes your
Run for your
face.
life.
There goes your face.
run for
You
your
would
lives.
break you in half. You're done.
Just saying, for people out there that like to cause chaos, there's a good recipe right there. Do that one. I want to see that on the news.
Here's a quote from literally a Karen. I see monkeys out here in the woods all the time, but I've never seen one that's 10 feet tall.
Well, good, because no one said it was 10 feet tall. It's 5 to 7.
Cool.
Get your shit right.
Get your shit right.
Get your shit right, Karen.
The Barden Booger is a gorilla. Okay, well, there's that. Get your shit together, Karen. All right. So in the 1960s, a rash of sightings in Central Florida happened around. Here comes another one. Alachua County, Alachua County, in Marion County.
We'll go with that.
Oh, Alachua County in Marion County. One such report from 1963 involved several members of a family encountering an ape-like creature around the rural home, including one instance of it of approaching a window and peering inside at night.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, that would be enough.
I like that.
That would be enough for me to go out and buy a gun.
Yeah, I like that one. That's good.
I like when they peek in the windows.
They mostly come out at night.
I like it when they peek in the windows. I like it when I like it when they look at me when I'm soapy in the bathroom shower stalls.
Paul hates it when I do my what's the dude off of Family Guy?
Herbert,
Herbert. He hates it when I do my Herbert.
let's hear it.
impression.
Go,
Like,
go, do it.
You better get your fat ass back here. You want some popsicles? I can't do the whistle through the teeth thing like he can on command,
That's
but
so good.
yeah,
That's so good.
yeah. He'll do something and I'll, or he'll say something that sounds like, I'm like, in a different context that would sound awful. Got a little meat on you there.
Say, you like Tylenol PMs? I got some in my pocket. Go on and reach down in there. My arthritis is flaring up.
I got a fun game. Let's see who can eat the most Tylenol PMs.
You like popsicles? I got some in the basement.
You're gonna have to go down and get them. My hips ain't what they used to be.
So you can do Herbert. I can do the weird, obviously gay guy who refuses to admit he's gay.
Oh yeah, with the mustache.
Well, I just went on TV and just told him how it really is. I just looked at the skunk ape.
Is he the guy with the pet donkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family Guy is on repeat in my bedroom constantly.
I believe that.
It was
believe
on
that.
when I came in the office today. And it will be back on when I go and lay down after this.
Paul likes Family Guy. That's why I like to throw that voice out there at him at the office.
Say, hey.
Say that.
You got the...
So you got a little meat on you. I like it.
Get your fat ass back over here.
Or it'd be like, how's this tie look on me today? It looks real sexy.
Oh.
Oh.
We just watched the episode. We just restarted season 1 this week. So we just watched the episode tonight where Herbert does like the full song where he acts like he's a housewife to
Oh yeah, to Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's really creepy. Yeah, he's in the high heels.
in
and
the
everything.
dress and
So,
everything. Yeah.
For those of you that are old enough and remember that Family Guy only had 3 seasons and then they took it off the air for like years.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
When they only had 3 seasons, I had all 3 seasons on DVD and I watched them on repeat because that was before they had streaming channels and I was broke as hell when I moved out of the house at 17. And so I had them on repeat, and me and 3 other of my friends liked to play a game called Name the Episode. And the way you'd play Name the Episode was you would just drop out one of the quotes. That's it. One of the quotes from either a cutscene or what, it didn't matter. You just drop out the quote, and then somebody else had to name the episode.
Oh, okay.
Which you would be like, oh, that's super easy. But the quote also has to be funny and poignant to the moment. So it's not like you just like name one off just find the most obscure one and name it, but it'd be like a joke quote line, and then somebody has to name which episode and then which season that episode's in.
Yeah.
Holy crap. We were way too good at it after a while because we all had the seasons and none of us had streaming and we all liked Family Guy. Now that they have them, now that they have like 20 something seasons, like I can't do that now. But yeah, with the first 3 seasons, that used to be our favorite game.
Yeah. So it's like
drop a quote.
It's like the end of season 3. So season 1, 2, and 3 I don't usually watch because the poor animation bothers me.
Yeah, they changed the animation when they brought him back. They even changed Stewie like a lot.
And I can't stand in season 1 and season 2 the opening song. if you listen
Oh.
really closely, you can hear each individual voice.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. It was
Yeah.
their budget production was they didn't give them a whole lot. To
I mean,
work with the
kudos,
first
they
time
did their thing. They did their thing.
around.
And I didn't know that season 1 came out in 99.
Yeah. So I guess it didn't occur to me, but it makes sense because I was still living in Indianapolis when it came out because I saw the ad for it on the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah, that they were gonna have Family Guy.
yeah.
And they made a big thing of it, and then it, like I said, 3 seasons, but it made a big enough impact that everybody shamed them into bringing it back, and then it died again,
Oh, well, there's
Shortly. And they brought it back again.
okay, so I have Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
and if you watch
That's where I watched
if
it.
you watch Family Guy now on Hulu, in between episodes, you'll get like the clip of Lois and all them in the car dancing, swaying back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the bottom of the screen, it says new Family Guy coming 2025.
Oh, okay. Well, they're still rolling. Oh no, I've already watched all of the season that's out right now.
Yeah, and there's new
Yeah.
Futurama coming next year.
So there's new Futurama right now,
Yes, I'm watching them. They're great.
and they've been they've been teasing me because they'll drop them 2 episodes ahead, and they'll both be like
Yeah.
upcoming, and I'm like, you suck because I see that they're there, and it's making me mad that I can't just watch it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I see that. I've been watching them too. That was my Futurama also has been killed like at least twice, maybe
Yeah.
3 times. They had a good stretch for a while, and then they killed him, and then they just did like the movies,
Yeah.
right? Which they then later came out and brought them out as a season, the 3 movies, like Bender's Big Score, and then it was about one of each of the 4
Yeah.
main people, and then I didn't realize it. Then they came out with new episodes, and then they slow played the gap between seasons instead of doing it like every year, and now they're actually doing it every year. So that's another one that like has had death and rebirth like a couple of times.
Oh yeah, because I remember the last time they killed it. It was the time travel episode where he jumps off the building and gets stuck in the loop, and then he gets caught in null time where time isn't moving with Leela.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's a good ending. I was like, I can be okay with this being the end of Futurama, because finally Fry and Leela got to live their life together.
Yeah.
But
Which was the thing that we all wondered if they would ever do.
yeah, and I was like, it's a great cherry on top. And then the new season started just recently, and the first season back was, the professor pulling them out and picking up where they left off, of course. But
Of course. Yeah, I'm so glad that it's back.
oh,
And now they get to make fun of Hulu in the episodes, which is really funny.
What do they call it in the show? Hublu or Fulu or something like that?
Fulu.
Fulu, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So funny because they used to make fun of Fox all the time
Yeah.
when they were on Fox.
Yeah.
Like, they used to make fun of them all the time. It's really good. Yeah.
I love my cartoons. Big cartoon household over here. If you can't tell.
Same. Yeah.
So, let's see, where were we? Jesus. We went on a tangent. Oh, 1970s. Here we go. In 1970s, 2 Palm Beach County Sheriff deputies named Marvin Lewis and Ernie Milner reported that an ape-like creature stalked them through a grove before they shot at it with their firearms.
Oh.
They reported following a trail of footprints where they recovered hair that snagged on barbed wire fence line that had been pushed down.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to see the footprints?
Mm-hmm. But of course they didn't save the hair
No.
for DNA.
Of course not.
Later.
It's a little cartoony for me.
Not the best foot impression I've ever seen of a proto-ape thing going on. It's not the worst either, but that's not super good.
So I don't know. Let's look. Let's see his hand. So the middle of it is coming to his palm.
Yeah, I mean it's big, but it's not that much bigger than a big dude's
Yeah,
foot.
so I would say 5 to 7 feet. That seems about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally
Well-
put my hand to my foot just to make sure. I have big feet.
My concern is that so if that is the foot of it, then it's not a tree climbing ape. Or at least not one with
1, 2,
hands for
3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 toes there. The big toe
Well,
is
the reason I say that is normally their heel to the like on a tree climbing ape, the heel to ball of the foot is longer.
Yeah.
Yes, but also there's more definition. There's almost none there.
yeah.
Right? Like it's almost like it doesn't have a heel, which is what makes me feel like it looks sort of fakeish. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying that's what makes it that's what's making it look weird, because even a human foot impression would have a bridge in it. More of a bridge. That almost looks like the top of a foot with no ankle. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He looks like a libertarian.
I mean, look at this.
You know, he's got an unregistered firearm in his back pocket.
He has 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Them boots.
Come on.
is fucking-
Come on, man. Come on.
Oh my god.
I mean,
all right.
I see your yard. You're not sloshing through the swamps. You have a freaking tennis court in your front yard, or a badminton court,
I bet he drives something made by Dodge.
or a Jeep.
That's made by Dodge.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
he either drives an old rusty Challenger, or that's like yellow and primer. I feel like banana yellow and primer
What?
but like he put the Roadrunner wing on it to be a douche, or he drives like a either a super new Jeep with like big ass mud tires on it, or a very rusty
With the-
red and rust Jeep.
He's definitely got a new Jeep with the big, ridiculous flared fenders.
Mm-hmm. But and he likes to drive with swamper scoop tires on the highway.
And
So just
in the back of the Jeep definitely has a dent in it, so he can't open the back
yes, yeah,
because
definitely.
he doesn't know the back of the
Definitely.
trailer.
Yeah, and it's missing the rear view mirror, but still has the stock for it.
False.
Yeah, I think
This
we
is
know.
false
Yeah.
news. This is fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Okay, so all right, moving on from this guy.
I'm
Ironically,
afraid
though,
to post this episode now because I'm afraid if he ever hears this, he's going to want to shoot me
he was just.
for characterizing him so harshly.
I think it'd be quicker for him to drive up to my house. So if I'm not here next week, we know why.
Oh no, it'll be like 3 years from now. He'll hear it and he'll have a grudge,
What?
and he'll come with his unregistered firearm.
Those guys were talking trash about me with his ripped tank top with the really thin straps. What? What
That's terrible.
What is
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's that guy. Okay, so
Yeah, but he's like retired and wearing Birkenstocks now.
okay, I mean, I talked shit about the guy, but this same guy gave us our video evidence for this week.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
well we'll see.
So
We'll see.
I
The footprint's not encouraging.
okay, so we'll get to the video evidence. We're gonna
Though
we're gonna
I do
this
applaud
last.
him for substantiating his claim with a footprint,
Yeah.
whether it's real or not.
Me-
I do applaud him for doing that. And I feel like I've seen this video before. There was a show on TV about crypto creatures, and I feel like I saw this on it. But I do applaud him for taking an impression. And I think that his excuse then for the lack of definition in the foot was that it was super swampy,
Yeah.
and it was hard to even get plaster to dry
Yeah, look at
in the
the
first place.
look at the edges of it.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty rough.
I mean, check
Yeah.
out this crotch. Mmm.
My Wrangler jeans.
Mmm.
I only listen to country songs about regular beans. That's my genre. It's my super specific genre.
A country truck drives up to my nuts, and my girl rides up at her short shorts. Yeah.
Damn. Hey, you know what you get if you play country songs, country records backwards?
You get your house back, your car back, your dog comes home.
Yeah. Get your truck back, get your wife back.
Your wife back.
Your wife back.
Your wife. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I've lived here in Arkansas long enough to know how a cross section of the population sounds.
Yes.
And I love Arkansas, but still.
All right, so we're up to 1975 now. A rash of sightings occurred in Broward County. In surrounding areas, multiple eyewitnesses reported nocturnal encounters with a 5 to 7 foot tall ape-like creature with dark red to black fur.
Okay.
These events were heavily covered in newspapers, both local and in other Florida cities, such as Miami, where some of the earliest instances popularized the term skunk ape. Reports allege that the skunk ape had invaded homes, stalked people, and killed several of a farmer's livestock, including a horse and a bull, which isn't easy.
No. That's a big animal.
Yeah, absolutely huge. The local police department investigated after one law enforcement officer reported striking the skunk ape with his car.
Oh,
and this will tell you how far south we are. Posses were formed in an effort to locate the alleged creature, but no body or evidence was found. This was 1975. Yeah.
A posse in 1975.
Come on, fellas. Come on, Cletus.
Oh my God.
Got us a posse. Yeah.
Everybody grabs their bandoleros and six shooters and gets on their horses, maybe.
Maybe.
Jeez.
It was a 75.
Well, it's not a posse if you're in your Jeeps. It's just a Friday night in Florida.
Yeah. We love you, Floridians. Don't cancel us.
No, just send us hate mail.
Yeah. So send us or any
like
emails
adult.
at all.
Just send us some Karen emails like an adult.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. So in 1977, a failed to pass bill was proposed to the Florida state legislature to make it illegal to, quote, take, possess, or harm or molest anthropoids or humanoid animals.
Okay.
So they tried.
So man-bear pig
and
out.
failed. Yep. And
Oh, okay. Cool. So it's still open season on man-bear
yeah,
pig
so if you
in
see one,
Florida.
shoot them.
If they don't exist, they can't have rights.
Yeah, they're not people. Several Everglades wildlife tour bus operators and their guests have reported alleged sightings. In July 1997, one such operator, David Shealy, excuse me. This is the guy that we were inspecting his crotch.
Okay.
David Shealy reported wildlife bait stands laden with lima bean had been raided, and he noticed strange tracks surrounding them. He baited several locations with more lima beans, and multiple witnesses reported skunk ape sightings soon after. Shealy and others attributed this instance to high seasonal flooding, having driven numerous animals into tighter ranges around higher grounds. One such sightings,
Lima beans.
Yeah. Lima beans.
Huh.
Get you some
I mean-
lima beans.
Get you some lima beans. I mean, it may be. I mean, it might be an herbivore. I mean, it's very possible. Plus, beans are high in protein.
Yeah, they're good food to eat.
Yeah. All the beans that are like lima beans, soybeans, those sorts of beans, and even, black beans and that sort of stuff. But they're really high and really dense in protein and calories.
Right.
So if you're an herbivore or even an omnivore, that would probably smell good to you.
Sure. Yeah. In
Lima beans.
Lima beans.
Lima beans.
Say, I want some lima beans.
I want some lima beans. Why don't you bring your lima beans on over here?
Get your fat ass.
Get your fat ass back here.
I should. I don't know. Can I do the Discord audio clip? Will it work? Will it work in
Oh no.
Hold on. Wait. Open soundboard. Oh no. Wait. Oh jeez. Hold
It
on.
won't let you.
No, because the server is not part of. I thought I invited them to the Discord. I guess I didn't invite them to the channel. Anyway, we have that sound clip on the Discord.
Of course we do.
So, in 1997, a photograph of a dark upright figure in the swamp was taken by Ocho Fire Control District Chief Vince Dorr that he claimed depicts a skunk ape. He reported observing the creature cross the road and stopped his car to capture a photograph. Within 2 weeks, over 50 people reported alleged sightings of the hairy creature within the Big Cypress Natural Preserve. That could very easily be the pictures that we looked at the beginning of the episode. In the year 2000, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office received 2 anonymous photos depicting a large, hairy, ape-like creature. Those are definitely the ones we saw. The author of the letter claimed to be an elderly woman who reported the creature had been stealing apples from her back porch near I-75, and upon surprising it with a camera, she was afraid it was an escaped orangutan that might harm her family. The scrutinized photos, dubbed the Mayaka skunk ape, remain a polarizing topic, and their authenticity remains openly debated. One critique highlighted the photograph as a potential hoax is the subject's resemblance to a Bigfoot statue in the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum.
Oh.
Sightings continued to the present day, with 48 out of 67 counties in Florida reporting sightings since 2010.
Wow.
So,
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot more than the
Lots.
Bigfoot sightings.
absolutely, this is why we picked this one. So, this guy here, Mr. Gene Crotch. Where's my mouse? There we go. Mr. Gene.
Mr. Foot,
Yeah.
Mr. Foot in the Hand Wrangler jeans.
Mr. Foot in the Hand Wrangler, jeans tucked into his boots. This is not just an irrelevant photo. This guy has recorded some of the most convincing evidence about the skunk ape to date.
Well, it sounds like he's a skunk ape hunter. I mean, he baited him with lima beans and
Lima beans.
and all kind of stuff. I mean, it's, you know, he seems to think like the ape.
So, let's wait, what mouse do I have? I have 2 mice here.
What you gonna do with them lima beans?
Let's go. I'm gonna bait me a skunk ape.
I'm gonna bait me a skunk ape.
So, are you ready to see
Sweet ass skunk ape.
the video?
Yeah, let's see the video. I'm excited for this. You've talked it up quite a
I
lot.
talked it up.
But this is cool that we have a story that has both a bunch of news articles. Just to point this out, most of ours only have either a couple of disparate photos or a video or a news article. Rarely do we have all 3 together in one thing, and they're normally not localized to such a specific area, whereas this is.
Yeah, this is.
Wow, that's a tiny video. I feel like when you blow it up, it's going to look like crap.
Yeah, it's gonna look like crap.
Well, it's old camcorder
2000.
video,
Yeah,
so-
so
Yeah.
bear with us. July 8, 2000, 7:19, 25 seconds in the PM. This is. What's this guy's name? What did I say? Sheely? That's his name. Sheely. This is the Sheely Skunk Ape video.
Okay.
2 minutes and 16 seconds. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Wait, let me switch to, you know what? We're going to leave it just like this for now. Here we go. I don't think there's any audio. If there is, it sucks. So I'm just going to turn the audio down. And
Unless he's got audio of the ape.
it's probably him going, "Oh fuck, oh fuck." Here we go.
Okay, so I mean that's definitely a black hairy-like figure running around out in his field. Turns to look at him, sorta, and disappears behind some shrubbery. And then comes out the other side. Huh. I mean that is a good video, but he disappears in and out of that shrubbery very easily.
Okay, so we're close to halfway through the video now. Oh,
Yeah, and
you can still see him in the
moving through
tree line.
woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still see him moving through the woods. And he kind of ducks down and does something. Stop shaking the camera, jerk. He is zoomed way in, though.
Yeah, that's the problem with these older
be fair.
videos. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a lot of video of a dude, or of the ape out there walking along the tree line. I mean... And he's kind of booking, even though he's definitely doesn't seem like he's running.
He's moving, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's moving pretty fast. And that grass is kind of high, so for him to... It looks like he's like hips and up above
Yeah.
the grass. Like, it seems like the grass only comes to like mid-thigh-ish. Maybe not quite that low, but I mean, it's... Yeah, he's really moving. That's interesting. Oh, that...
Oh, yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Oh, he's running
And now he's running.
Yeah.
Now he saw him, and now he's running. He's got a weird gait too,
He really...
the way he's running.
Yeah.
But he's really moving now that he started running and bent over and started to run. Like he is cooking.
Yeah, he booked it to the tree line.
Dang. Well, that's really good, actually.
Okay, so...
That's a very good video.
So let me show you the AI enhanced stills from that video.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's one of the couple of things that the AI is good for on some of these videos. Like the UFO ones that we saw that were like
Yeah.
zoomed in and enhanced, and they look like that craft looked organic. It was really good for that.
Yeah. So like, look at this guy.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and there's that white stripe
Yeah.
and sort of beardish section of those first photos. Huh.
All right, we got one more.
And that is only coming up to his knees.
I mean,
That tall grass is only coming up to his knees.
so back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the episode. What it's like to slog through any kind of bush in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big talking point with everybody who's skeptical about this. There's nobody in the world that can move with this speed through anything that's not a trail or a road in Florida. Nobody.
Yeah, even that grass, like if you've ever tried to run through like, even knee-high, densely grown together grass, like it does this thing where it hooks your ankle.
Yeah.
Like if you don't pick your feet, way up, but then you can't really run very fast. And he's definitely not picking his legs up that high.
Yeah.
And he's just cutting through it. So he's either super strong or well adapted to it.
All right, you ready for our last photo?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little pixelated, but so this is
that's
flipped.
a little weird.
This one is flipped,
Oh, okay, I see.
but
It's flipped because he would be running the other way.
not as clear as the other one.
No, not as clear.
So-
Definitely smaller.
So let's go back to the other one. That one had much better definition. Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. That is, and like I said, I like that I assume by AI enhanced, they just said, hey, clean up and sharpen the image.
Yeah.
It's interesting that without input in about Skunk Ape, right? That it has the white stripe down its chest, like that one in the really early photo.
Yeah.
And the beard, the white beard that one has in the really early photo. So that almost lends credit to both of them.
So it's
Like by this one having it, it lends credit to the other one,
the only thing
and the other one having it makes it relevant that this has it. I don't know.
the only thing I don't like about this is it's very humanoid, kind of slim compared to the first photo.
So I have a theory about that first photo.
Okay.
With how far down its hand was,
Yeah.
and the way I think, or at least it seems like in that photo, it's actually hunched over or crouching,
Sure.
like it's trying to hide, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why it seems broader than it is. But if you look, since I can't put my pointer on it, I don't think, like if you follow the arm up, right, like zoom way in and follow up from the hand.
There's the hand right
Okay.
here.
So here's my thing: is that the hand, or is that the foot? Because see how his arm slims down right there?
Yeah.
Up there is the elbow. I think this next joint is the wrist. I think that's his foot down there.
But the
See what I'm saying? Go up here above. Go up here above. Go up. All right. So that line right there. So just up. Yeah, that's about his elbow. And then his wrist is about at that next section, right where the fronds become parallel. Like where the closer, lighter set of fronds are, and the darker set that's closer to him.
right here.
Yeah. Come down a little bit. Down. Nope. Not the picture. Your pointer. Yeah, right there.
Oh.
That's about where his wrist is. Right there. See, and so I think that other one is actually his foot. And you're almost
Okay.
able to see the bend of his leg and his knee down there above his foot.
Yeah, I can
So like
see
there's
that.
his foot, and then you come up. So I think he's crouched over, and I think he thinks he's hiding behind the fronds.
Okay, yeah. I see it.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that makes it match more with the size of the other one. And I'm guessing the darkness and hitting it with the light, it might be more of a dark brown than a black.
Yeah.
So that would make both the photos kind of substantial. But the hair doesn't seem as long on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Like on the video. But, could be a female, could be an adolescent. If we're going to go from the premise of it's a real thing, could be, because also its hair is sticking up a little bit, at least in the
he's very fuzzy.
AI cleaned up one. Yeah.
So,
And you might even say on the contour of the chest, since it has its arms back, right? If both of them are back, it almost has the contour of a breast. On the opposite side of the chest over there.
yeah.
See what I'm saying? If its other arm is back at the same, because you normally, it may not be. It may be forward, and that might be a bicep.
Yeah, it could be. Sure.
I'm really digging here, but I'm just saying, this could be, not, because that other one, while I don't obviously know what distinguishes males from females in that one, that other one comes across as the first photo comes across as distinctly male.
Yeah. This one seems
For some
thinner and more feminine. Yeah.
Yeah, the hair doesn't seem as long, and it's got finer features
Yeah.
in some way. It's a weird thing to say since I don't know anything about it other than what we've read.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking tonight?
Man, that's hard because part of me wants to be like any Bigfoot thing. I want to be like no, right off, only because there's been so many hoaxes about
Yeah.
Bigfoot because it's the most popular thing. But this is a distinctly different thing. The video is honestly the most compelling thing because while, certainly it could be a hairy ghillie suit, it seems to react at first like it doesn't know anything's watching it.
Yeah.
And then when it gets closer to the guy with the camera, much closer,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to notice him and take off.
Boom.
like really fast, and it was already moving really fast walking at what I would assume was its general pace. And like a creature, it's staying to the tree line for the most part, moving from like tree clump to tree clump on its, like it was already headed to the tree line anyway.
Yeah, like this is a much very leisurely pace.
Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't know anything's there, and when he's works his way closer to the camera, it definitely seems like it turns and looks at him, and then takes off. Okay,
yeah, there's no audio, by the way.
Okay, well, that's all right. It was like you said, it was probably just dude anyway. But yeah, it seems like a leisurely pace, but it's still pretty quick if you're taking the trees as a reference. It's still a pretty clipped pace for a stroll. And then when it runs, it really takes off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a lumber, but it's much faster and really fast given its size, which I would think you can only account for by a long stride because of how high it sticks up above the grass. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I want this to be true. Because I always wanted Bigfoot to be true. I really want it to be true. I think there's a lot of good stuff. I guess also the fact that there's local lore by the indigenous people.
Right.
About it reinforces it for me. So I want to say there's something to it. I don't know if I'm convinced that it's for sure real, but it might be. I'm kind of split, I guess. I'm finding it hard to commit for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. All right. I'm gonna say this one's real because we have an overwhelming amount of eyewitnesses.
Right.
We have very close-up photos.
Yes.
And a phenomenally close, very natural reaction video.
And lengthy compared to most.
Oh, God, yeah.
Cryptid videos.
Yeah. And once you AI enhance it, it doesn't look fantastical.
No.
You get more detail. There's you even get color of the fur.
Uh-huh.
And
which relatively matches the color we're seeing. It's far off, so it's hard to pull in detail.
So I'm gonna say this one's real based on the evidence.
I mean, I guess if I get rid of my Bigfoot bias, and I have a lot of Bigfoot bias, because as a kid I really wanted it to be real.
Right.
And the older I got and the more I looked into it, the more, even if it is real, people have muddied the water so badly with trying to be the guy that discovered Bigfoot by making a Bigfoot hoax.
Right.
They've muddied the water so terribly. If somebody comes out tomorrow and is like, I got a Bigfoot video, I'm be like, whatever. Because so many people have done that, and they've all, the vast majority of them have been bad. In fact, the best video is the one that's the worst quality video.
Yeah.
Like the best, it's the one video, right? The one that we have on our intro video, is the best video anybody's gotten, and it's super grainy and terrible.
Yeah.
But all the rest that people have gotten are good and hoaxes. So.
Whereas these keep getting better.
Yeah, these do keep getting better, and like you said, a lot more eyewitness accounts, a lot of accounts by people who didn't
get police officers
out of it. Yeah, accounts by police officers. I like the one about the police officers that shot at the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And then, other locals claiming, something was ransacking their veggie stands.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I guess I'm just very biased about the Bigfoot thing.
Okay, well,
but I like it. I mean, I think
vote. We can live with that.
I think it's equally possible either way. Well, let me put it that way. Okay. I don't disbelieve it. I think it's very possible that it's real.
Well, let's not call it a loss. let's call it.
Oh, it's not a loss.
We're not quite decided yet.
No, it's not a loss. I mean, you're on board with it, and I don't discount it. I just, you got Florida Man, and then you got that it's Bigfoot like. But also, I didn't. So tell me this: does anybody? I mean, in these places where it's been seen, are there like skunk ape tours?
Oh, I'm sure. Let's do
like skunk ape night tours.
Let's check Google Maps.
Because that one guy seems to have made quite a bit of notoriety over skunk ape stuff. Right, the guy with the footprint.
So let's just search skunk ape. See what comes up. Okay, we got a few results.
Okay.
Skunk Ape Electronics, Skunk Ape's Workshops, Skunk Ape Research Headquarters, Skunk Ape Tree Stands, Skunk Ape Print Company, and Cyclery.
I'll bet that the Skunk Ape Research Center is run by that dude with the footprint. What do you want to bet? There's way South Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No website.
Of course not.
And it is tourist swag and snakes.
Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily...
So, 6
discount
through the whole state of Florida.
That's not crazy.
And they're not condensed. So looking at the map here,
they're all over the place.
Yeah. I wouldn't say anybody's really making money off of this.
Yeah, and I guess I'll give it a thumbs up, only because when we did the Jersey Devil thing, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody's account of what it looked like differed super wildly.
Yeah.
Like way all over the map. And in this case, several of these people are not calling it a skunk ape. Like some of them thought it was a gorilla.
Yeah.
Right, or a monkey. Right? And you even have Karen saying, I see monkeys out here all the time, which also I doubt.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, in Florida. I doubt that. But if you are, then you are the skunk ape nexus of Florida. But
right? It's a Karen. Take it for
but
what
yeah,
it's
if there's not there's no like I didn't see skunk ape tours, night tours. And only 6 places in all of Florida. I'll bet it's tough when you tell people you saw a skunk ape.
Yeah.
Like I'll bet that people make fun of you.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine they're getting anything good out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see if there doesn't continue to be more sightings.
Okay. Well, we'll chalk that up as a win then. How about that?
Yeah, no, I'll give it a green check mark. I'll give it a green check mark.
All right.
I like it. It's a great story too. I mean, this is one of the best sets of evidence and like material that we've had to work with for any episode. So, I mean, I guess maybe I'm just being a jerk about it because we've never had this much stuff for a single thing.
Yeah.
Before.
I mean, I'll take the win. Let's take the win and roll with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good one. It's a really good one. I had forgotten all about this too.
I love it. I actually heard about the skunk ape before I heard about Bigfoot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, I grew up listening to Coast AM.
Right.
I was an AM radio kid, so Bigfoot was mentioned in passing, but skunk ape was mentioned in research.
Well, and probably because there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
With the skunk ape than with Bigfoot.
Absolutely.
I mean, Bigfoot's been
obviously
played out and talked about over like one piece of evidence for years.
This is just the evidence I've been able to pull out for the last few days. So, given a larger time frame, to write an article for a syndicate radio program.
Right. No, this was a really good choice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And I like cryptids. I like cryptids a lot.
I know you do.
I like cryptids, and I do want to believe that there is some sort of man-like ape undiscovered out there.
Yeah.
I guess the other hard part about it is because they're so big.
Yeah, somebody would have.
They're so big.
Captured one or shot one by now, right?
Like even on accident. Like, I feel. Yeah, I'm just surprised. That's what's always surprising to me about the big mammals.
Yeah.
That people claim to exist. I'm like, okay. Even with development, even if you're talking about, their habitat is shrinking, I'm like, that usually means you run into them and they get killed.
Yeah.
Like, not they just silently disappear.
Yeah.
But you're also not going to find skeletal evidence out in the Everglades because everything rots.
Yeah.
And there's nothing's going to sit around and get, you don't even find skeletons hardly in Florida because stuff gets picked apart and then it turns mushy and it rots. I mean, even the bones disintegrate eventually. Like, nothing stays. So, honestly, if there were one anywhere that it could hide and also not have a fossil record or a skeletal record to find, that's the best place.
Yeah.
It is the best place. Same with the Pacific Northwest. You're not going to find skeletons very often out there. Everything gets grown over and rots and covered pretty quickly. So that makes sense. No, this is a great story. I'm glad you picked this one.
Yeah.
It's good.
My wife,
it was really good.
My wife helped me pick this one.
Did she?
It was like, here's the list I'm thinking of. Pick one. And she's like, that one. Because it's got a funny name. I'm like, okay.
That works. Yeah, this is a really good one. I feel like we need to hear an interview by the guy.
Oh, I'm sure they're there.
I'm sure they're there too. I mean, we don't usually cover that stuff because it's probably syndicated by somebody. But.
Yeah. It was tough enough to find a video that wasn't on like a news clip.
Right.
So we try to shy away from the news clips because news stations are assholes.
Well, and also they're making money from it, which is why they're not going to let us play it.
Right.
So if there's new clips promoted by the newspaper, or I mean by the TV news, that's definitely somebody making money from it.
Absolutely.
So they have a reason to add validity to it, because despite what people think, journalism hasn't been unbiased in a long time, and it has been a thing to make money for a very long time.
Yes, it has. So we're going to take that as a win, and if you guys like what you heard tonight, shoot us an email. The information is scrolling along the entire bottom of this episode. We are at beyondsshadowspodcast@gmail.com, Instagram at Beyond Shadows Podcast, and Facebook Beyond the Shadows Podcast. Look for this logo. This is our logo. It's everywhere.
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 It's
in my dreams. So reach out to us. Let us know we're doing good. Let us know we're doing bad. Yell at us for making fun of people in Florida. Whatever. If you've seen the skunk ape, let us know. We want to talk about it. If you email us, we will read your email and record it, and you will be part of the podcast.
Forever.
Forever. You will be
immortalized forever.
Yeah, you will be in the tome of shadows. What are you thinking for next week? Are we doing ghost next week?
Yeah, we probably need to do a ghost one.
Or I might have something that's very interesting.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I'll
take very interesting.
Okay, we'll go with that. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It'll be a surprise.
Don't tell me what it is.
Yeah,
don't tell me what it is.
Because there's a whole rabbit hole you can go down, and I'm not going to let you do that. So, yeah, I was thinking about it today. I was like, that would make a good episode. So I jotted it down. I got a little notepad full of potentials next to the bed. So I got something, I guess, for next week.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun. I kind of like not knowing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's not ghost, It's not paranormal, but it's enough to
It's
make you
something
go,
else.
huh. So,
Okay, I like that.
So I guess it could be in the conspiracy realm.
Okay,
We'll say that.
that'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work.
All right.
That'll
well,
work. I kind of like some conspiracies.
yeah, we'll mix it up a little bit this week. Did you have anything you wanted to add this week before we went out of here?
So, if I don't start getting some hate mail from New Jersey and Florida, I'm gonna be super disappointed. I'm just saying, it's all in good fun, but I know there's got to be some easily offended folks out there, and I want to hear you tell me that I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but stereotypes for a reason. I don't think I'm wrong, but even if you live in New Jersey and even if you live in Florida, stay tuned and follow us.
Beyond the Shadows.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
It's alive! It's alive!
A creature like that, how would it ever die?
And this monster starts running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Why, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Face. Horrible. Looked like it would scare you to death.
All right, let's get to work.
Beyond the shadows.